Hello, my dear students. I am Dr. Prajna Mattelli from Government First Grade College, Dharwad, Karnataka. I have uploaded many videos on principles and practice of auditing, wherein I have discussed the meaning, definition, scope, advantages, and limitations of audit also, and objectives, primary and secondary objectives are discussed in detail. Kinds of audit is also discussed, wherein different basis of classification we have observed, and organizational structure kinds are discussed in detail. Degree of independence of the auditor is also dealt with. Continuous and periodical audits are discussed and compared also. If you want to know all these aspects, please kindly visit my earlier videos. Today, I am continuing the discussion on the classification of audit, wherein we have to start with the interim audit. What it is exactly? Interim audit means the word itself says you. It is interim, in between. If the business wants to know its financial position in between the financial year, already annual audit of last year is over and there is much time for undertaking the next annual audit. In such a situation, for any reason, if the company wants to know what is the financial position, what is the profit, whether it can declare the interim dividend, for such a situation, interim audit is ideal. Come, let us understand what it is and what are the features of this also. Here, audit which is conducted in between two annual audits to enable the company to ascertain interim profits for declaring interim dividend. This is the idea about interim audit. It may be conducted for 3 months or 6 months. So it is not compulsorily to be undertaken exactly in between the years, that is exactly for 6 months. No, it can be undertaken even for 3 months, even for 9 months. So it implies that in between, somewhere in between the year, the audit is being undertaken. It is expensive as it involves additional work. Auditor has to come in between the year and he has to undertake the auditing work, so it is costly. And next is balance sheet audit. What is balance sheet audit? The very word says you, it is the audit of balance sheet. Various items appearing in the balance sheet. Being the commerce students, you know very well that the balance sheet means it includes assets and liabilities. Assets may be fixed assets or current assets, and there may be several liabilities. So various items appearing the balance sheet are to be audited. All the assets to be verified in detail. Their physical appearance, their value, and the depreciation provided for that, additions made to that, all such things have to be verified in detail. It is of recent origin. This balance sheet audit was not there in earlier time. It is a recent origin and it is popular in USA. Though it concentrates on balance sheet, it includes profit and loss account, because after preparation of profit and loss account, we can prepare the balance sheet. And as you know very well, in the balance sheet, you have transferred the profit or the loss from profit and loss account. So, to know the authenticity, the accuracy of profit or loss, you have to go back to profit and loss account. Therefore, though the word is about balance sheet cannot be verified independently. It is interlinked with the profit and loss account. Therefore, verification of profit and loss account is also included in verification of balance sheet. It is the additional work. In India, no distinction is made between annual audit and balance sheet audit, because we believe that verification of balance sheet independently is not possible. So we have to go back to profit and loss account also. Then there is no meaning in calling it separately as balance sheet audit. So it is as good as annual audit only, wherein we verify both the final accounts, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Then let us understand what is partial audit. The very name says you partial. Part means portion of the entire system. Audit with a limited scope, wherein auditor is asked to verify only part of the books of accounts or records. We are verifying only part of it. Example, records pertaining to purchases, records pertaining to sales. So, why we are verifying them? Because to check the misappropriation of goods. If we want to check the misappropriation of goods, we are having some doubts over it. So we want to clarify the things. Therefore, we have appointed an auditor just to verify the purchases or just to verify only the sales. In such a situation, he need not verify all other accounts. He has to verify only about the purchases or sales or something like that. In such a situation, it is called as partial audit, because auditor is verifying the accounts pertaining to some aspect only. It is not permitted where full audit should be undertaken. So, when the audit is not compulsory for the business, for private individuals or private business companies, when there is the optional audit is being undertaken, then they go for this partial audit. And the occasional audit. Occasion. The word itself says you that it is occasionally undertaken. Audit is conducted once a while when a need arises for special event. It is not undertaken on regular basis. It may be to discover any suspected fraud or error or misappropriation. So audit is not compulsory for the business company, but there is a suspicion. So the company is doubting about any fraud or misappropriation. Then it goes for the audit only once in a while. So it is not periodical, it is not regular. Therefore, it is occasional. It is conducted where audit is not legally compulsory. In such a situation, once in a while, only in case of some doubt or misappropriation, audit is being undertaken. Then let us go for the classification of audit on the basis of objectives. For what reason you are conducting the audit? That is objectives of audit. For example, cash audit, cost audit, management audit, special audit, operational audit, or efficiency audit. What is this? Let us understand them one after the other. In the same way, there are joint audit, propriety audit, systems audit, and audit in depth. First one, that is cash audit. The word says you that it is pertaining to the cash items. It is partial audit because here we are concentrating only on cash items. A kind of partial audit under which all cash receipts and all cash payments are audited in detail. Since we are auditing only cash items, we can go with detailed examination because we are verifying only cash receipts and only cash payments. Auditor checks all cash bills, all cash documents in detail. Auditor mentions in the report that it is only cash audit, it is not full audit. So what are the findings I am giving in the form of report is pertaining to only cash items. So it is a partial audit. What about the cost audit? Detailed checking of cost system, techniques of costing and accounts of cost to verify their correctness, whether they are correct or not, and to ensure adherence to the objectives of cost accountancy, whether the accounts are maintained according to the cost accounting principles or not. It is to ensure that cost accounts and records are accurate and have been maintained according to the cost accounting principles. So it is related to only about the cost aspect. Once again, it is partial audit. So it pertains to the costing aspect. Then comes the management audit. It is the critical verification of management plans. What are the management plans? What are the management policies? What are the objectives of the management? Appraisal of performance of management in various functional areas, evaluation of decisions and management techniques adopted by the management in a business. How good the management is. See, the other aspect of the audit, what is being undertaken annually, that is annual audit or periodical audit, it reveals the functionality of accounting staff only. To what extent your accounting staff are performing. So you are in a position where you are properly maintaining the accounts, but you want to increase the efficiency of the business, then you have to concentrate upon management also, because management efficiency contributes much more to the overall efficiency of the company. Therefore, we have to take care of our management also. What do you mean by management? Management means it is popularly known by management plans, policies, objectives or functions. Whether these decisions undertaken by the management is correct or not, whether management techniques are good or not. Better to audit them separately, which is called as management audit. Okay, then what is special audit? It is audit which is conducted with a special purpose in view. We are having special purpose. It is a fact-finding inquiry into the affairs of the company. Under section 233A of the Companies Act, central government is empowered to appoint special auditor. Under certain circumstances, he can go with the things. He can undertake the auditing work. As it is mentioned, it is special. It is not common. It is not commonly found at all. It is not commonly undertaken. Only in special situations, central government appoints the special auditor and he undertakes the audit work. Under section 233A, it comes into the picture. Then comes the operational audit. It is the audit which is conducted to find out ways and means of improving efficiency of business operations of the organization. As you know very well, every organization, every business entity undertakes several operations, several business operations. And how good you are doing, what is the level of efficiency, whether you are doing the operations efficiently or not, how to improve the efficiency is our question. In such a situation, we have found out some ways and means to conduct the audit. So this audit is undertaken to improve the efficiency of business operations. So we call it as operational audit. This is the operation concerned with the business. To make recommendations for improving operational efficiency, to help management in achieving organizational objectives. So this is quite specific and it is not common. Only when you want to improve the operational efficiency of the business, you have to go for it. So it is rarely undertaken and it is occasionally undertaken and it is meant only about the operational efficiency of your business. And comes the efficiency audit. Audit is undertaken to improve overall efficiency of business organization. What is the overall efficiency? It is concerned with financial efficiency, operational efficiency, technical efficiency, administrative efficiency, and also about the marketing, productive, and such other operations. All these areas are being audited just to improve the efficiency of the business. And what is joint audit? The very word says you it is joint, not a single. That means here two or more different auditors are jointly appointed to conduct the audit. A single auditor is not undertaken. It is the practice of big companies because big companies they feel that a single auditor cannot complete the work because they have got huge business. More number of entries are there. And if a single auditor is appointed, he cannot undertake the detailed examination of each and every entry. Therefore, they appoint more than two different auditors. Each of the joint auditor is held responsible for the specific work allotted to him. It is possible when work can be easily and clearly divided. Otherwise, what happens if there is any mistake found out after the auditing work? Then the auditor says, it was not done by me, it was done by someone else. Because they are more in numbers. They are not internally coordinated. They are not internally communicated. Therefore, in such a situation, better to divide the audit task among all those auditors conveniently so that each and every auditor can understand his own responsibility and he can undertake the task. Then comes the propriety audit. Propriety. What do you mean by this word? It means tests of public interest. What do you mean by this? It is the test of public interest, commonly accepted customs and standards of conduct. It means verification of accounting records in such a way as to find out whether actions and decisions have been taken in the public interest. Always the auditor should think from the point of view of public. Though he is appointed by the client, the owner of the company, public interest should be protected. It is adopted by government department, especially in case of government departments, propriety audit is undertaken, wherein the commonly accepted customs and standards of conduct are being verified. Then comes the systems audit. It is a detailed inquiry about various systems of accounting to find out whether these are working efficiently or not. It is very useful and popular in advanced countries. It is also known as computer auditing. Nowadays, we are depending upon the computer. Even the auditing work is being undertaken by the computers. So we should audit first whether the computer system is properly working or not. So it is very useful in popular and advanced countries. A detailed inquiry about various systems of accounting is undertaken to know about its efficiency level. Accounting in depth means what? Maximization of the system applied within a business, entailing the tracing of certain transactions from their origin to their conclusion. See here, if any entry is made in the books of accounts, when it is happened, for example, one purchase entry, from its origin to its conclusion, we have to do the investigation whether this purchase is made according to the rules or not, whether the advertisement was given or not, whether we have received the different quotations or not, whether these quotations from different companies are compared or not, whether we have given the order to the most appropriate person or not, from whom we have purchased, what was the quantity, whether it was required by the company or not, whether there were the seeking applications for this purchase or not, whether the approval was taken from the concerned authorities or not. So what was the mode of payment, when we have paid it, and when we have received the purchase, when the goods are received at our end, where it is located, whether it is according to the order or not, whether the order supplied is according to our requisition or not. So in detail it is verified from their origin to their conclusion, investigating at each stage the records created and their appropriate authorization, whether they have been properly authorized by the concerned CEOs, concerned directors, concerned officers, whether all of them have given consent or not. So this is accounting in depth. Depth means from their origin to their conclusion. Each and every aspect is to be detailed verification should be undertaken. This is called as accounting in depth. So my dear students, hereby I am concluding this discussion about the accounting aspects and the auditing aspects. So in our next video, I am going to tell you about the audit program and also the appointment, power, responsibilities and liabilities, rights, etc. of the auditor. So please give me the feedback for improvement, whether it is clear or not, have you understood it well or not. So my intention is making you very comfortable with the auditing aspect. So please visit to the earlier videos and give me the feedback. Okay.